Good morning and welcome to the Teacher's Wake Up Call. I know, I haven't posted a video in a solid week, and I'm still trying to figure out where will be the best location for me to film a video. So right now, because I don't have the proper lighting, I'm filming in front of a window to have some natural light. So good morning, time for some coffee. And you could probably see I've decorated my room. Well, I'm sharing the space. I knew I was going to be sharing the space, but like the other teacher is a math teacher, and I've worked with her before, so she's not a total stranger. And in fact, I know a few more teachers in this school than I originally had thought. I've worked with many teachers in the past, and some of them were at my first school, and some of them were in my most recent school. So it's fun to see those familiar faces, and to have positive memories associated with those places and those people. So yeah, it's very overwhelming. It's still very fresh and new. Like yesterday, grade 7 students showed up, so already there was some kind of semblance of quasi-normalcy, especially after the last few weeks. The flooding that happened in our area really created a bizarre transition. Normally during that time, I'm mentally preparing for school, but I wasn't even able to do that. I was focusing on making sense of my home space in order for me to function and to live. There's no better word for that. So I had to make sense of my space. And to me, that's very important. Just like we make sense of our space in this classroom, in order for it to be meaningful, not just for us, but for students. Your home space has to be meaningful as well. So those few weeks before I started school again was not necessarily the most productive. So it felt a bit overwhelming to come back to this. And I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one who was affected by the flooding. And yeah, so I think today is going to be one of those days where, okay, now I know things are starting. Things are back to normal. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm giddy. It's a lot to take in, because it's not just the start of a new school year. It's the start of a new school year in a new school, for me at least. I know that other teachers, it's like, hey, same old, same old. But for me, I'm going to discover new people, new faces, and once again, start from scratch where you know absolutely no one. It's not as if I saw these kids in the hallway or in the cafeteria or hanging around the library, so it's not as if it's like, hey, not even that. So I'm going to have to build new connections and build new relationships, which is great, but also at the same time a bit daunting. What else is fun, new, and exciting? Nothing much. And I think as far as teaching goes, change is good, but as I've mentioned before, we need to have some sense of control over that change and not to feel too overwhelmed. So maybe all that I needed as far as change is what's happening right now. I don't want it to be so overwhelming that I feel lost. I don't feel lost. I feel like I belong. I feel like I know where I'm going. But at the same time, I feel like I'm 12. And we're starting a long weekend, a 3-day weekend. You gotta love starting the school year that way. My grade 11s are probably going to feel, why did we come in on a Friday if we know we've got a long weekend? Why couldn't we just have come in on Tuesday? Part of me understands that. On that note, folks, have yourselves a lovely day.